Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our review of Guardians of the Galaxy. I, of course, am your host, Caleb, and I'm here with my co-host, Cameron. Cameron, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man, and I just want to let all of you know, ain't nothing like me except me. Okay?
Exactly. Oh, Rocket Raccoon. Now then, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy is the epic new Marvel sci-fi movie like Star Wars and Star Trek had sex, and Marvel put their stamp on it, and it's awesome. So basically, it follows a group of misfits. You've got Star-Lord, who's a human who was taken from Earth when he was like 8. You've got Drax, who just wants vengeance for his family's murder from Ronan. You've got Gamora, who's Thanos' daughter, who's an assassin and shit. And you've got Rocket and Groot, who are just two, Rocket alien and a tree alien. One of whom can only say, I am Groot. And they're thieves and whatnot. And remember, Cameron, as all of the children in the theater said, Rocket is the bad guy.
He is the bad guy for some reason to all little kids.
Little kids don't like Rocket as much as they should.
Right, I don't understand it. He's my favorite character.
They should be buying teddy bears, but like Teddy Rockets.
Yes.
So anyway, Cameron, this movie is really big, and it's hard to touch on everything. So we'll of course do non-spoiler talk, and then we'll go into spoilers.
Yeah.
So my first impression of this movie was I had heard amazing things, Cameron. You saw it a week before I did.
Yes, I did.
I
saw it
went
the day of.
Yeah, exactly. Then I saw it yesterday. Well, this is coming out Monday, but I saw it on Saturday. And I was just sitting there, and it was like, this is fucking amazing. I think the beginning is a little slow.
Yeah.
The opening credits, I was kind of like, what? This might not be as good as I thought it was going to be. But once they really got going, and once you got out of the opening scene, and you got introduced to some more characters, it got really fucking good. And I really, really liked it. It was really just, you got like fucking Star-Lord, who is the love child of Captain Kirk and Han Solo. He's just awesome.
Let's
Star-Lord
not compare two stupid things to this one amazing thing, okay?
Okay, first of all, don't call Han Solo and Captain Kirk stupid.
Well, they are stupid.
No,
I call
okay.
it like I see it.
That's just, no. But anyway, Star-Lord is just a fantastic character. He's this edgy, he's like, a member of these, Ravagers who just go around the galaxy kind of just taking stuff. And, he's really had a weird life since being taken from Earth when he was so young. I really like Star-Lord. There's something about him that I just love. I just attached to him, and he was his character was the strongest. Like, I feel like he had the biggest backstory, and you felt like, yes, this guy's the main character.
Yeah. You did feel like that. But you felt like that, but then again, you felt like this team was really important.
Yes, that's one thing I liked is, like, there wasn't really, even though Star-Lord was the main focus, you felt like this entire team was a big deal.
Yeah, and I want to kind of compare it to the X-Men movies. It's like, it's Wolverine, Xavier, Cyclops, and Jean Grey in the movies. But with this, like, it's the whole team. They make the whole team feel important. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly, man. And I'm sorry about that. So breaking down breaking down some of the actors in this movie, just to give people, the actors and characters, just to give them an idea of it. So we of course have Star-Lord played by Chris Pratt. Like we were saying earlier, he's got amazing backstory. His taste in music is off the chain, and he's just an awesome character. Chris Pratt, I couldn't imagine anyone but Chris Pratt playing him.
I want to say something that Philip DeFranco pointed out. Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence might be the same people because you haven't seen them in the same place at the same time.
That is a good point, because they're two amazing. I would love to see Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence morph into a superhuman.
Yes.
That's like the dream right there. Mystique and Star-Lord, one person. You basically get like Nightcrawler on insanely awesome, like, steroids, drugs of some sort.
Yeah.
Make Star-Lord Nightcrawler's dad somehow. Do it, Fox. I don't care how.
Yes.
You get those rights. You get them. It would make no sense, though. But, and you have Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana.
Yes.
See, Zoe Saldana at this point is Sigourney Weaver for years was the queen of sci-fi, with aliens and everything else she's been in. But see, I feel like these two work together in Avatar. We had Zoe Saldana and Sigourney Weaver in Avatar. Since then, she's been in Star Trek and Guardians. I think the torch has been passed from Sigourney to Saldana as the queen of sci-fi.
I see.
Because she's in, like, everything. now. She's like that sci-fi chick you go to ever since Avatar, which my opinion on that movie should be saved for a later date.
Yes.
But then, she was in the Star Trek reboots, which are fantastic, and she's in Guardians, which is awesome. And I'm not gonna lie, man, she looks pretty damn good in general. But man, she looked good in this movie.
She did something about that green that just puts it over the top.
Oh my god, Zoe Saldana. See, I've known she was hot for a long time. Now I was like, oh my god, just you're everything. Anyway, sex thoughts aside, I really love the character of Gamora in this. I mean, she was a badass, and she had the whole shit where she was like, "Oh man, my dad's a dick."
Yeah.
And it was just really, really. She had the whole rebellious, to a degree, she had the rebellious teenager thing going on almost, but she wasn't a teenager, and she had a good reason for being rebellious.
Yeah, she had a really good reason.
She had a fucking amazing
Probably
reason.
the biggest reason to rebel.
If you've ever been a rebellious teen, nothing is compared to why Gamora is rebelling against, because I guarantee you, your father is not some sort of space tyrant who wants nothing more than to take control of the universe.
Yeah.
Nebula's pretty bad. We'll talk about Nebula later. But
Yeah.
Then we have Batista as Drax the Destroyer. So Drax is pretty badass in this movie.
I'm going to give Batista the most underrated performance of the year. I would give that award to him.
See, my thing with him is people are like, oh, he was, not a good actor. It's like he was playing big dumb muscle who had problems speaking. Like the reason he came off as a bad actor was because his character didn't understand. Like the way he would speak, that was the character. It wasn't him being bad. That's my thing with that. Is Batista is a decent actor. He's been in some good movies. Like he was in The Wrong Side of Town, which is kind of it's a stupid but underrated movie that involves Rob Van Dam. And I love that movie. Karen, have you seen that movie?
No.
We'll watch it together. It's fucking hilarious.
Alright.
It's really stupid. God, but I really think Drax was just a badass in this movie. Just from the moment he showed up, it was just great. And then he has one of the funniest scenes in the movies at one point.
Yes.
Which we are not going to spoil because I'm not a dick.
No.
Not that much of a dick.
We can't.
So, but then Batista too, he had good reason. Drax. I guess it wasn't really Batista. Yeah, man, he just wanted revenge. His character was revenge.
Yes.
And then he's a hilarious drunk. That's all I'm gonna say.
I want to just say this: Drax and Wolverine would have an amazing fight.
Oh, those two would beat the dog shit out of each other. It'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So then we go on to Groot, voiced by Vin Diesel. The 3 lines he says. And he did the face. It was mocap from Vin Diesel. That is Vin Diesel's face in tree form.
Yes.
If I've ever seen it, it just really is insane how much that looks like Vin Diesel's face. So Groot is basically a giant humanoid tree alien who can only say "I am Groot" and stuff. And Rocket can understand every word he says. Now, but Groot is, even though he only has those set of lines, he is a great character.
He stole the show.
He is the Chewbacca of this franchise.
Sure.
Like Chewbacca doesn't speak English. Chewbacca doesn't go, worst Wookiee roar ever. But Groot is so much like Chewbacca in this. It's insane.
Except he's a lot cooler.
Groot is cooler than Chewbacca.
Let's not compare this great franchise to those stupid franchises, okay?
Really? First of all, Star Wars...
That's the last time you're ever going to make a Star Wars reference while we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
But the original trilogy was amazing.
Find that hard to believe.
What? Watch them!
No! Don't tell me what to do.
Fine, back to the Guardians. So we don't get people to click on and go like, what the fuck, you don't like the Star Wars? So... Going on from Groot, who is just an amazing tree person, we got Rocket, who Cameron, you thought stole the show, which I do agree he stole the show, but Star-Lord is my favorite character in this movie.
Rocket
is a genetically enhanced raccoon who has a voice box and sounds a lot like Bradley Cooper. Since he's voiced by Bradley Cooper, which I think was an amazing decision.
Yes.
But basically, Rocket's just a little mercenary, and he's kind of a little douchebag, but he's an awesome little douchebag.
Rocket is literally the best thing ever.
He's the best CGI raccoon I've ever seen.
Yes.
For the most part, he looked like a real raccoon.
Yeah.
I don't think there were many scenes where I could tell he was CGI. Well, I knew he was CGI, obviously, but there were
Yeah,
not many scenes where he looked CGI. No, but Rocket is like he is in the comics and is notorious for. People love Rocket Raccoon
as they should.
because he's just a fucking little badass. He always has something to say,
Yes.
and he's just awesome. The main villain of this movie was Ronan.
Which I
What did
loved.
you,
I liked Ronan.
See? I liked Ronan a lot, but my issue with Ronan is Thanos. We know Thanos is there. See, Thanos makes Ronan less threatening.
Yes.
That was number one. Number two, I feel like Nebula outshined him.
Nebula, really cool.
Nebula is so bad at because the thing is, you know me, I love those sibling rivalries in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like Nebula being Gamora, even though Gamora and Nebula aren't technically related by blood, they're both daughters of Thanos.
Yeah.
So they've got the whole feud where she's kind of staying loyal, but then she's more loyal to Ronan, and it's really great. I loved Nebula, and one thing is she was mostly cybernetic.
Yeah.
She's not really. I think she's Kree, I believe, right?
Yes.
I don't. Yeah, she looks Kree. And then of course Ronan was Kree, and Ronan had some weird face paint going on. I wasn't. That was really weird, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna
That
make
was
a weird baseball player reference, but I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah, man, Ronan is just that. There was something weird about his face paint. I don't even know if you can call it face paint.
He looked like a blue Bryce Harper. Only a few people would
Yes,
get that joke.
yes, but no, but man, Ronan was just badass. He didn't give a fuck what the Nova Corps had to say. He just wanted to kill everyone.
Yeah.
Because Ronan just wants to be badass. He just wants to be the very best, like no one ever was. Ronan just wants to be Thanos, basically.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
So then, do we need to talk about the Nova Corps at all?
Eh.
John C. Reilly was in the Nova Corps.
Yes. Just.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which I think this sets up for, because as you know, Nova and Gamora are on and off lovers in the comics.
Yeah.
I would love to see that expanded one day. That'd be so cool. Because then we'll talk about them more in the spoiler section, but that could set up a really amazing storyline I would love to see. But then, I think the chick who was the head of the Nova Corps was badass. Like,
Yeah.
that is one tough old woman, and I want to hang out with her. I
I
want
think
to eat
your
a
mom should have
cheesecake with
played
her.
her.
That doesn't even make sense.
Your mom would have played her well.
No, that makes no sense at all. My mom isn't that old. But nonetheless, fuck. This movie's great. Overall, see, we're going to end the non-spoiler section of this now. Overall, Cameron, with non-spoilers, I would say, and I'm sure you agree with me, it's a fucking amazing time. It's fantastic. It's a good movie. If you want that science fiction mixed with comics, mixed with amazing story and great character development and awesome characters that you care about, then this is the movie for you. And if you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy, this is when you click away and come back when you've seen it.
Yes.
Because you do not want to be spoiled, because this is a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about post-credit scene and all. We're going to be talking about all the dirty jokes, too.
Yes.
And just to make this clear, since this is a new movie, in case you did not hear me, we are now entering the spoiler section. Spoilers ahead. You have been warned. If at this point in the video you are still listening and you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy, you've been warned, because you're about to be fucking spoiled.
Yes, you are about to be. So please click off. Don't ruin the movie for yourself, because it's so good. You should just go watch it.
But if you have seen it, then stay around here, because we're going to be talking
and then
all
you
about
put in the comments your thoughts on what we say.
Yeah,
You've
exactly.
seen it.
So, okay. And one thing I will say is if you put spoilers in the comments, please put the spoiler tag and put some spaces down so people don't get spoiled by looking at the comments.
Yes.
Just be generous. Come on now. No one wants to be fucking spoiled. And if you put a straight out spoiler in the comments without doing that, we're gonna fucking delete it because that's just bullshit.
Yes. Now I will allow him to delete that because
That's fucking shit.
Stupid. You're stupid.
Okay, so first of all, I think Star-Lord's origin of the day his mom died, he had his whole Awesome Mix Volume 1, he ran out and then he got abducted by aliens.
Yes.
Which we don't understand. Now, by the end of the movie, we understand that those aliens, I think his name's Manu or something?
Yes. Manu.
That really cool blue alien who I was convinced was Woody Harrelson while I was watching the movie, and was very disappointed when I looked up that he was not Woody Harrelson.
Is he the guy from The Walking Dead?
Yes, he is. He's Merle.
Yes. Yes.
And then unfortunately, I know that. And then he's also from Tombstone.
I see. I don't even know what that is.
It's like the greatest Western ever.
I see.
It's really fucking badass. Go watch that sometime.
Okay.
Oh my god, but so this really sets up that, like, with the whole Star Lord's father not being human or whatever, it really sets up for who the fuck Star Lord's father is.
Yes, it does.
Since I'm not familiar with it, I'm not really sure who his father is, or if this is true. But Cameron, I think we're both thinking the same thing. Like, who do you think is that? Because I think I'm thinking the same thing.
Um, Plot twist: Rocket Raccoon is his dad.
That makes absolutely no sense. He would be half raccoon. It would be so obvious.
Maybe he shaves a lot.
Uh, okay, but I will seriously though. I think it's a very good. It could be. I think it could be Thanos.
Yes.
I think there's a very good chance Thanos could be Star Lord's dad.
Yeah.
Whether or not I see it's so weird because we're not familiar with Guardians. It feels weird not being familiar with the comic, you know?
Yeah.
Like going into a movie, that was the weird thing because I'm not super familiar with it.
I think
So maybe
that's part of the excitement of watching this movie.
yeah, because it's like X-Men. Like I do know X-Men. I do know Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
With this, it's like so cool because it's almost a different lore with some characters I am aware of.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But like I said, man, it's just Star Lord's dad. I think it could possibly be Thanos, and there's lots of other stuff. So Star Lord and Gamora had the most sexual tension ever.
Oh my god! Right?
They almost boned twice. And let's not forget that she called it pelvic sorcery. So does that make Gamora a virgin?
Probably.
Oh, poor Gamora.
If you think about it, she is a virgin.
That's a good point. Okay, I almost did something bad. Never mind.
Calm down with that.
You know what I was about to say too.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after, but you know
Which,
what.
if we were off, if we weren't recording, I would enjoy what you were going to say.
Yeah, exactly. So, if I will say this though, I think it's cool. Nebula survives at the end. We're just talking about this all random. Okay, I'm just randomly gonna say that because this spoiler talk is gonna be so fucking random. But so Gamora and Star Lord are clearly gonna have some sort of chemistry going on in the next one.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, and one thing too is if Thanos is Star Lord's dad, that does not ruin him and Gamora because Gamora is not biologically Thanos' daughter.
Yeah.
Her parents got she's the adopted daughter, so it's like it's not as creepy, but it's technically
she's kind of Miss Martian.
She is Miss Martian, but Marvel, and she doesn't have psychic powers, nor is she from Mars.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yes, she is green and sexy. This is a good point. But another thing though is with Star Lord's whole chemistry with her, Nova is very much rumored to be in Guardians of the Galaxy too. And in Guardians of the Galaxy, and as we know, Nova and Gamora are sometimes lovers in the comics. You know what that means? We get Star Lord and Nova being at each other's fucking throats, being like, "Whoa, fuck you, man! I want that green pussy." That's what it's gonna be like. Exactly, but it's basically going to be Star Lord and Nova at each other, and that's what I want in the next movie. Is I want Nova to be working with them, but then being like, "Oh, I want to fucking kill you, Star Lord." And be like, "Yeah, fuck you, man." Oh man, now we should probably talk about how this movie this is kid friendly movie.
Yeah.
Lots of parts that aren't.
Yeah.
There is a fantastic semen joke. That is one of the funniest scenes in the movie. You're sure this movie? Oh, you have no idea, lady. Oh man, if I had a black light. And he said something about this looking. I'm not familiar with the artist, but he said this looked like something painting. It's like basically he's saying he splattered semen throughout his ship.
Yes.
It's just a semen. And let's not forget at the beginning, it is referenced that he boned that red chick.
Yes.
And when I say red, that is not a racial slur to any Native Americans. That is just saying that was a red alien.
Yes.
Just to make that clear, in case someone is just feeling in a racisty mood and wanting to accuse someone of being racist. And being racist to aliens from space? Yeah, maybe. But I don't know her actual species, so I just said red alien. I do know that John C. Reilly is married to one, and he bred with one. We do know that. John C. Reilly is a big fan of the red aliens.
Yes. Who isn't, though?
But see, do you really see John C. Reilly settling down with human?
No.
I feel like if aliens were real, I feel John C. Reilly would be the first person to say, "Well, I want to fuck one," and if he wouldn't let him touch his sunset. But nonetheless. So another other amazing joke is we had a huge, amazing Kevin Bacon Footloose reference.
Yes.
We had 3 hilarious lines in a row. Well, see where I come from, we call that Footloose. this great hero named Kevin Bacon. And, he's talking about, people in town having sticks up their butts, and then Gamora delivers the line, like, but who put the sticks up their butts? That sounds cruel. It's just amazing. This movie had some of the best comedic timing I've ever seen in a comic book movie.
It did.
Because it was like, it could be serious, and it could be funny, and it could do it so well, and it didn't feel forced.
It didn't, and that's the thing about it. That's what makes it so good. It wasn't forced. It just ran so smoothly.
This movie is, if anything describes this movie, it's smooth.
Yes.
So then the plot, we got Star-Lord who stole the whole Infinity, which is learned to be an Infinity Stone, which they are setting up that Infinity Gauntlet, motherfucker. Which I'm so excited for because that's such a huge Thanos thing. It's the only Thanos thing, besides him wanting to bone the shit out of Death. And for any of you who don't know, Thanos physically wants to have sex with Death.
Yeah.
Really, look it up. Thanos wants to fuck Death. I want to just say that every day. I want to say that on every show we ever do. Thanos wants to fuck Death, because he does. Thanos has no fear. He just wants to have sex with Death. He wants to have sex with the Grim Reaper and his Jamaican accent. If you get that reference, a star for you. Cameron, you know the reference.
Yes.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy reference on Guardians of the Galaxy review. That's how I roll. Oh man, I'm gonna say, going on to Thanos, Thanos was badass in this movie.
Yes.
Oh my god, Josh Brolin is who would have thought Jonah Hex, who was badass, would make an incredible Thanos?
Let's make this a Jonah Hex free review, please.
I'm just comparing it because Josh Brolin was Jonah Hex. But man, one thing I will say is he had a color swap from the Avengers. He's purple, not really red. Maybe he was just having a bad day. He was angry that day, so he was red. But I remember him being reddish pink in the Avengers in the end credit scene. So am I wrong about this, or was he purple?
I don't remember actually.
I'm almost positive he was red in the end Avengers scene, and he's purple now. But
Maybe
I will say this:
just one big mood ring.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Thanos is a mood ring. When he's having sex, he turns a pink color. Maybe that's when he turns red. Is he wants to have sex. He's getting ready. Death's gonna come over. He's got everything prepared. He's got all red. That was about to get really creepy in fanfiction, eh? But if you want to read, I'm sure there's Thanos and Death fanfiction out there, and I want to read it because that sounds hilarious.
I'll send you a link to some tonight.
Oh my god, you need to find some, and we'll share it with the world. The world needs Thanos fanfiction. You're probably gonna find. You know what you're gonna find though if you look up Thanos fanfiction.
Yeah.
You know what you're gonna find.
Yeah.
Unless I think Josh Brolin was perfectly cast, and Thanos, he only had one real big. There was a picture of his face at one point. He had the whole hologram thing, and then he had that scene where he was on his throne and he talked to Ronan, and it was fucking badass.
Yeah. It was
God.
badass.
Dude, I cannot. It was just. I love Thanos. I always liked Thanos, but Cameron, I'm not a huge Thanos person.
You aren't, which is odd to me.
You see, I love Thanos, but at the same time I don't. But then this Josh Brolin as Thanos is what has really pulled me over to the Thanos side of things.
Yay.
I feel Thanos is the main antagonist of this Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
He has been the whole time. He has been since the Avengers. He's going to be in Age of Ultron. He's probably going to be in Guardians 2. And then he is going to be the big bad in Avengers 3. Which I hope they just call Avengers Infinity. That sounds kind of dumb but cool at the same time.
Yeah.
They'll come up with a name. It will involve the Infinity Gauntlet somehow. And remember, folks, they've been setting up the Infinity Gauntlet since Thor. You see, there's an Easter egg of the Infinity Gauntlet there.
Really?
Am I? Yeah. In Odin's throne room, when you walk by, there is the Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, then I'll have to go look that up.
You should, because that was what really started people being like, "Oh man, Thanos!" And then the Avengers happened, and everyone was like, "Ah!" So anyway, we should probably stop talking about Thanos.
Yes.
So Batista, goddamn, Drax drunk calls his archenemy. Let's not forget that.
Which is really funny.
It is. It's a great scene. And let's not forget the Collector. The poor Collector gets his entire collection blown up. And if we can talk about the end scene right now, I guess, except for this Russian space dog and Howard the Duck.
Howard the fucking Duck.
Karen, do you know who voiced him?
No.
Seth Green.
Really?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, Seth Green voiced him.
Amazing.
I don't know how I feel about this. It's like, first of all, the Collector was a really good part of this movie. I liked him.
I'm a really big fan of the Collector.
My only thing is, like, if you remember, but the thing is, doesn't the Collector have an Infinity Stone or something?
Kind of.
Because remember though, the end credits of Thor: The Dark World is them bringing him. I don't. Maybe it wasn't an Infinity Stone. I don't remember. Dude, honestly, I think I blocked out the end credits scene of Thor: The Dark World because I don't remember what the fuck the Warriors 3 gave the Collector. But his response, what he looked at, was like, 1 down, 4 to go, or 5 to go. And yeah, it was an Infinity Stone. Now I remember people talking about it back then. There's 4 to go. There are 5 Infinity Gems, 5 or 6, correct?
Yes.
I believe there's 6, 1 down, 5 to go, something like that. The Infinity Stones confuse me. But then the Collector is really cool, and my only thing is, I felt like they kept acting like he was gonna be a big deal, but he wasn't that big of a deal in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
He was in really, if you look at the actual movie, he was in 1 scene, but then he was in the post-credit scene.
Oh, that Collector never gets a break.
And we will discuss a possible Howard the Duck movie. See, I would discuss it on this week's comics podcast, but that's a spoiler. So in the future, we will discuss a possible Howard the Duck movie.
Well, if we don't mention that he's in the movie, in Guardians, and we just randomly bring up a Howard the Duck movie, it isn't a spoiler.
That's a good. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But then, Collector, he was cool. And then, I'm trying to think of other really awesome shit. The prison break scene was fantastic.
Yes.
And again, I still think the opening credits of him singing around kicking those rats, that was so slow. That was the worst scene in the movie, and I don't know why I didn't like that scene.
Though?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
To me, I liked the open, but whenever he started singing with one, that was weird.
No, it was amazing. What are you talking about?
Anyway, that final battle sequence is one of the best sci-fi battle scenes I've seen in a long time.
Right.
Oh my god, that was so. Most of the Nova Corps fucking dies.
Sadly, yes.
Oh, poor Nova Corps. That is why Nova will show up to bang Gamora and shit in the next one.
What they don't really talk about, but now that you mention it, a lot of them died.
Dude, a lot of them did. They fucking blew the fuck up. It was hilarious.
Actually, really sad. A lot of them died. Horrible deaths.
Speaking of one of the Nova Corps members who died in that explosion, who was the British one, you know what made me cringe in this movie?
What?
Is when he said, "What a bunch of a-holes." And I thought he was going to say assholes. Didn't they confirm this at Comic-Con last year?
Did they though?
I thought they did. It makes me sad because that was the one thing I always hated about the trailer. What a bunch of a-holes. But then again, John C. Reilly does say again, he's like, see, he said he is an a-hole, but he's not 100% a dick.
Well, okay. They probably said a-hole because when he was touching the Infinity Stone, he said, "We're the Guardians, bitch." And you can only have so many.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So they probably replaced that so they could say bitch.
Yeah, because it's I think you only have so much limit for one of these movies for what you can say.
Yeah.
I was really hoping we would get an X-Men style thing where they got one fuck in the movie. That did not happen though, and that made me sad.
I want to tell you a funny story about the word fuck in a movie when we get done recording.
Okay, that sounds good to me. But nonetheless, I say nonetheless a lot.
You do.
I need to stop saying it. But so that whole battle sequence, once we get to Ronan, Nebula's by this point jumped off. Manu, the blue alien from The Walking Dead, he's used his strange whistle abilities, which make. So what does he have, some kind of psychic connection to that or something?
Yeah. That's
pretty fucking cool. See, I couldn't use that because I suck at whistling, as you know. So I would just get killed up and and then I would just die. So remind me to never get some sort of telekinetic needle I can power by whistling as a weapon.
Okay.
Oh my god, but then... Oh, fucking Christ. I apologize, my headphones fell out for a second. So then we get to the whole battle scene where Groot protects them as the ship is crashing. He's like, "We are Groot." And that was a really sad scene.
Yes, that scene where Rocket was holding the little limbs actually made me cry.
It's understandable. It was an emotional scene.
Yes.
I will say this though, is the only thing that is the one thing I knew about the comics that I wish I didn't know going into the movie. I wanted to believe Groot was dead. But because I know, did you know beforehand that if Rocket plants it in something, he'll grow back?
No, I didn't know that.
See, I did, and that's the one thing I wish I didn't know going in.
Well then.
Because I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna still be alive, and that's the only thing that made it a little less sad for me. But it was still really sad and good. So then we have the whole thing where Ronan's like, oh, I got the Infinity Gem, bitch. Well, he doesn't really say that. He's like, these are your guardians of the galaxy, which is great. So Ronan invented their name.
Yes.
Which is awesome. And then we get into the whole shit where Star-Lord gets up, he starts trying to dance, and it was a comedic scene. And the thing is, it wasn't out of place.
Yes, it wasn't.
It was you think, oh man, this final battle sequence is going to have a fucking main character trying to dance, and oh my god, and then all of a sudden, he's like, what are you doing? He's like, what do you think I'm doing? I'm distracting you. What does he call him, a turd boner or something?
Yeah.
A turd boner? What does that do? Oh, that's what that means. Never mind. I understand what it means now. No, that's not it. Was it bone? I think it was turd boner. But nonetheless, oh, god damn it, I need to stop saying nonetheless. This interview is fun. But then, of course, he gets the Infinity Stone whenever it falls out, whenever Rocket does that whole thing where he shoots the hammer, and then he grabs it, and then, because we've seen earlier, if you're not strong enough, you're not worthy enough, and, if you're not really, because he's mortal and stuff, so it's like, oh man, he's holding on to it, and this whole pink cloud starts surrounding him, and stuff, and he starts, you see the fucking purple, and all of a sudden Gamora's like, take my hand, and he sees his mom from the beginning of the movie being like, take my hand, and he didn't take her hand, but he's gonna take hers. It's a fucking full circle. And then he takes hers, and they're both doing it and shit, and then all of a sudden, Drax grabs him, and then Rocket grabs him, and then Star-Lord, who had the badass looking eyes I've ever seen.
Right?
He had the coolest fucking eyes ever in this scene. He's like, but you're just immortal. And then in the best, I will say this is the best line of the movie. He just looks at him and said, you said it yourself, bitch. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
And then he just fucking zaps him and fucking kills him. And then, of course, we got the whole ending, where the Nova Corps now has that Infinity Stone, and John C. Reilly's with his red alien family, because John C. Reilly just loves to bone aliens.
Yep.
So does Star-Lord, and so does Captain Kirk. We don't judge. Fuck. So, I don't know what else there actually is to talk about this movie.
We covered really everything.
We covered so fucking much.
One thing we did not cover. The girl who plays Nebula is so hot.
Oh my god, right?
She's so hot.
Oh, she's so hot. And speaking of which, a fun little Easter egg for you. The chick who plays Star-Lord's mother has a small part in Captain America: The First Avenger.
Really?
She's one of the women who wants his autograph.
I see. That's interesting.
Yeah, so she's been in 2 Marvel Cinematic movies with small little roles. I will say this, though, and wait, but one thing we really need to speak is the very, very end of it. Where Star-Lord, finally opens that box after like 26 years or something, and he sees it's the Awesome Mix Volume 2. And speaking of, dude, you realize, when are they gonna release the Awesome Mix Volume 1 on CD?
They already have.
They've released
yeah, it's at number 1.
Is it physical form?
Yeah.
Like, I can buy... Okay, that's amazing, because I need that. This is the best soundtrack I've ever heard in a Marvel movie.
Right?
This soundtrack is fucking amazing. It had some... that music was just so fucking good. And then, of course, we get the very end, and then, of course, we learn the origin of Star-Lord's name is that his mom used to call him her little Star-Lord. And that's sweet. So whenever he was in there, he always had a code name, and it was always Star-Lord. And he's the only member of the Guardians who has a code name. Because the rest of them just use their real names. They don't have identities, I suppose. A giant tree person is secretly Tree Man. That makes no sense.
No.
Especially since he can only say one thing, so... Yeah, but then, of course, we also saw Groot as a sapling, and he was dancing around. I kind of thought that scene was stupid, but at the same time...
shut up.
But,
that was like...
No,
shut up right now. That was like one of the best scenes in the movie.
Here's the thing, it served its purpose, because for anyone who didn't know, that was the 100% proof that Groot is alive.
That scene was so adorable. What are you talking about?
It was adorable, but it was like, I didn't laugh. Like, I thought it was cute, but...
What? Did you so...
Okay,
make me not like you, Caleb.
Cameron, I loved this movie. What? Okay, but, God, this movie was just fucking amazing. What else is there to even be said? This movie is awesome.
It's just awesome.
Like, it really is an amazing sci-fi action movie. I think it covers most genres pretty well.
Yeah.
And it had a great ensemble. Just, I can't wait for the sequel. I can't wait to see these characters show up. And hopefully, I think they're probably going to end up in the Avengers 3.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be Thanos. It's going to be the big battle with Thanos. You've got to have the Guardians. At that movie, I guarantee you, I think Guardians is the best movie now. But, like, man, wouldn't that be crazy if Avengers 3 with Guardians and Avengers ended up being the best movie of all time? It's probably going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing, not best of all time, though.
And then, so basically, I thought Guardians was amazing. I think it's the best movie Marvel's ever made. And it's my favorite Marvel movie now. It's not my favorite comic book movie ever because it's still The Dark Knight. But I still think Guardians of the Galaxy is amazing. And we see a lot of dark and gritty movies now. And first of all, that might sound weird after I'm saying The Dark Knight, but like Guardians of the Galaxy, Dark Knight, Batman is dark and gritty.
Yeah.
That's who he is. Spider-Man doesn't need to be dark and gritty. Superman doesn't really need to be dark and gritty. So it's like Guardians of the Galaxy did not need to be dark and gritty, and they weren't.
Yeah.
It was a very bright movie, and it was a great movie. And like I said, it's my favorite Marvel movie so far. I love this fucking movie so much. I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Yes, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it's best Marvel movie. It somehow beat Days of Future Past for us.
With Days of Future Past being a close second. Really close second.
I think this has been an amazing year for Marvel.
It has been.
I think this has been my favorite year as far as loving every movie they've put out.
Yes.
And yes, people, I thought The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a decent movie, so suck my dick. Well, whatever. One day we will review it, and I will explain why I like that movie.
Yeah.
People fucking hate that movie. But nonetheless, feel free to favorite, comment, and subscribe. Leave down in the comment section what you thought of Guardians of the Galaxy if you stayed this long, of course. First of all, I will say this, like I said, if you really want to talk about spoilers in the comment section, please put the spoiler tag and then leave a few spaces so people have time to not see it. If you just flat out put a spoiler in the comment section, it'll be deleted. Other than that, did you think Guardians was amazing? Did you think it sucked? If you think it sucked, I really want to know what's wrong with you. I joke. We all have our own taste, but seriously, if you did not like this movie, I want a real explanation why. I don't want it sucked, it was lame. I want a good explanation of what you did not like about this movie.
Yes.
Like real, not just it sucked. I want fucking explanation.
And don't go being a DC mark saying it was just stupid because it's Marvel, because that doesn't even make sense.
Exactly, and I loved this movie, and I love DC more than Marvel. Just personally, but I love both. There does not need to be a war. It's stupid.
It doesn't need to be a war because both sides have a purpose.
Exactly. Like DC has even though I like DC a little more, DC has awesome stuff. Marvel has awesome stuff. It's not a war.
We're going to talk about this war later on the comics podcast. So just come back.
Yeah, we need to talk about this sometime. But like I said, put whatever the fuck you want in the comment section. Do you think we're awesome or stupid? Whatever. I'm not going to delete what you put in the comments unless it's too mean or unless you're a dick about spoilers and don't make it clear that you're about to tell spoiler.
Yeah.
So fuck, I guess that ends this video. Huh.
I guess it does.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm Caleb.
I'm Cameron.
And you said it yourself, bitch. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.